Hey everybody, my name is Ms. Naranjo, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce the Module 5 Moon Phases Simulation Recreation. And what we're going to be doing here is you guys are going to, the purpose of the assignment is to create a model of a waxing and waning phase to better understand the moon cycle, movement cycle. You're going to go ahead and first use a simulation. You're going to take a screenshot of that simulation, and then you're going to recreate it using materials from your house. I'm going to go over each step individually, so you can follow along with me. And there's also written steps below that you can follow along. So for this first step, you're going to go ahead and go to the lunar phase simulator, which you can get through this link here. Or if you want to click on this image below, you can go to either one. For the lunar phase simulator, it's going to take you here. As you can see, the sunlight is coming in from this direction. There is the moon as it goes through its cycle, and here is the Earth, and then we are that little figurine on there. You can go ahead and do increments of the animation by clicking on the days and going day by day by day, or you can go ahead and push the start animation and it'll show you, it'll go through the cycles continuously. So I kind of like using the start animation, but if you like the other way, it's probably easier to do that screenshot for that with the, the increments day by day. I do like to go ahead and click on the angle, and it just kind of shows where it is in relation, the moon is relation to Earth. The lunar landmark does show kind of a reference point on the moon. So you could kind of give you an idea of how the moon phases are changing with just another reference point. And then the tick marks actually go through and show the different times of the day. So if it was, here's the noon, what the moon would look like during the noontime, during sunset, during midnight, and during sunrise. So those are options you can use if you would like to find out more information about it, but it's not necessarily it's not necessary for it to go ahead. So if I go ahead and start my animation, and I'm going to increase it a little bit. So as it goes through the day, you'll see over here the moon phases, you can definitely tell that it's starting to increase going right to left. Okay, so here I'm going to increase a little bit faster, and it just goes day by day. As you can see, each day enlightens that right part more and more. So the first part of this assignment, you are going to go ahead and choose one of these phases that is called, it's going to be the waxing phase. And the waxing basically means the moon is getting larger, okay? So let's say I went ahead and take this one, and this is what I want to go ahead and use. So I'd go ahead and take a screenshot of this, and then I would go ahead and insert it into the module. So this is a module that you're going to go ahead and turn in, and it also kind of has, it's the slides, so it has the moon phase, the simulation recreation, it has the title. It goes ahead and tells us the different directions, like on the module, word bank that you want to go ahead and use, waxing, waning, quarter, full, all that. And then it gives a teacher example. Okay, so for mine, I would go ahead and come in, and I would go ahead and for my waxing example, I would take that screenshot and I played it here. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go through and kind of like the teacher example I have here, I'm going to recreate something in my house showing that same picture. So the picture that I chose going through waxing, and I'm going to set it up and take a picture. So similar to this one. So as you can see, the teacher example shows the new moon and shows the sunlight. Here's the moon, and here we are. So my reference picture, my hands-on recreation photo, so it shows the same thing. It shows my sunlight, it shows the moon, and it shows us on the Earth. Okay, and this is that little Ernie doll. So I'm going to be doing that same thing here. So now that I chose my cycle, I put my lunar phase cycle, so the one I chose from here, so this screenshot, I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it into here, and then I'm going to recreate my photo that is like that one, and then I'm going to paste it in. Again, similar to the one for the teacher example. Then you're going to go ahead and talk about which main moon phase is being shown, and how do you know based on that. So you're going to go ahead and answer that, and it will help you here that can tell you kind of what phase it is. So if you go back to the simulation, you can say that it's a waxing crescent, meaning that it still hasn't gone to that quarter moon yet. It's still kind of growing, but it's not quite halfway through. And you can go ahead and use that to go ahead and explain this. Then you go ahead and answer the second question is, how did you make your hands-on creation, and explain the process? Answer in complete sentences. So do the same thing. You can look at the teacher example also to help you out. And in the teacher example, it kind of it tells how they used a flashlight, a ball, an Ernie figurine to recreate it, and then how they placed it there, or what was the reference point of those three things: the sun, the earth, and the moon. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and do that for the waxing phase. You're going to recreate it. You're going to go ahead and answer the questions. And so that takes us, that was all the way up to step 5. For step 6, you're going to be doing the same thing again, except for this time, instead of being a waxing phase, it's going to be a waning phase. So when you look at that simulator, when you're going from that new moon all the way down to that full moon, that is going to be that waxing phase. That means that the moon is getting larger. However, if I click way far over here, so this is all the way up to waxing, now this is going to be the waning side. That means it's a full moon, and the full moon is going to get smaller. So again, if I click on it, you're going to see, oh, look at the moon. It's going smaller, smaller, smaller. That's the waning phase. Now I'm going to choose a phase from this side, and I'm going to do the same thing over again. This time I'm going to be doing it on the next slide, which says the waning example. All right. So same thing, screenshot your setup, the 2 questions below. The last part that we're going to ask you guys to go ahead and do is the reflection questions. So on the reflection questions, we want you guys to go ahead and answer something that you learned from the assignment, and to help you better understand putting the cycles together. And then how did making the hands-on impact your understanding of the moon phases? So we want you guys, again, make sure you're doing it complete sentences. We want 1 or 2 good sentences. And then when you're finished, please make sure you submit your assignment. So not only finish the assignment, but then don't forget to hit the submit button. Okay, that's it, you guys. Have a wonderful day. See you guys soon. Bye.